Howdy, students. In this video, I'm going to summarize the most important points from Chapter 2. First, the IPCC describes the modern warming of the climate system as unequivocal, meaning beyond doubt. To understand why we are so confident about the warming, remember that replication is the gold standard in science. If something has been replicated many times, in other words, has survived the crucible of science, then you can have high confidence it's true. The claim that the climate is warming is one of the most reproduced results in all of science. We have many independent data sets that tell us exactly the same thing. The most important data set is the surface thermometer record. We confirm this with the satellite record, the disappearance of ice all over the planet, warming of the ocean, and sea level rise. Make sure you can list these for the exam. In addition, many of these data sets have been analyzed by multiple groups, which is an additional check on the results. For example, the surface thermometer record has been analyzed by at least 4 different scientific teams, and they all produce nearly identical estimates of the warming, as seen in this plot. The similarity of the results from the different groups gives us confidence that these results are correct. Given the agreement of all of these data, it should be clear why we say the warming of the climate system is unequivocal. As far as the magnitude goes, you should know for the exam that there has been about 1.1 degrees Celsius of warming over the past century and a half. We also looked at the paleoproxy data to see how this modern warming compares with temperature fluctuations over the Earth's history. Make sure you know what a paleoproxy is. We talked about it in the last video. The climate has varied widely over the Earth's history, from a world covered by ice to a world with no ice. Except for the last 200 years or so, all of these changes were due to natural processes, meaning that climate can vary without any input from humans. Clearly, natural processes can cause large changes in our climate. Thus, when we look at causes of the recent warming that's occurred over the past century or so, we'll have to explicitly consider whether natural processes could be the cause. Over the last 60 million years, the overall trend of our planet's temperature is cooling. Ice ages started occurring about 3 million years ago. The coldest part of the last ice age, known as the last glacial maximum, occurred about 20,000 years ago, when the global average temperature was 6 degrees Celsius below modern temperatures. The last ice age ended about 10,000 years ago, and we are now enjoying a rather pleasant interglacial. Temperatures peaked about 7,000 years ago and have been declining since then. Temperatures bottomed out around 1800 in a period known as the Little Ice Age. At that time, temperatures were about 1 degree Celsius colder than today's. The rising temperature after the Little Ice Age began when we started burning fossil fuels. As you'll see in Chapter 7, this is not a coincidence. Well, that's it for the evidence that the Earth is presently warming. Now, let's turn to the physics that controls our climate in Chapter 3. But before we get there, time for your moment of dog.
Stop trying to make fetch happen, Bullet. Fetch is not going to happen.